Hey guys, Horrorman back for another review. So today we're going to take a look at the NECA Toys Charred Chucky. Now this is based off the original Child's Play movie, and it's a collaboration between Scream Factory and NECA. So just taking a look at the box here, we have seen this style box before for the retro Chucky. If you have the basically like any of the retros, specifically the Scream Factory, like Good Guys Chucky, this is the same box you got before. The only difference is it's all burnt up, which is perfect for this release. So taking a look at the front here, you can see where it's kind of burnt right along the window where you can see Chucky inside. You got all the little good guy pictures of like the different accessories, I guess, that they were trying to push for the doll. And then of course it says collect all the Good Guys accessories on the front. It says ages 17 and up. You got the Good Guys logo. And then it just says he wants you for a best friend. And then over to the top, really burnt up looking. And the bottom, you just get the credits for the production of the figure and the movie credits. And a special shout out to Nicole Falk, which is Randy's wife. She actually used to do a lot of the photography, so if you have some of the older figures, you'll see her name on there with her maiden name. But it's really cool to see her name come back, so I haven't seen her credited in a long time on anything NECA, so it does look like she did the tailoring for this, so very cool. Again, you got really cool little pictures on the side of just the good guy doll and different outfits. So really cool. And then of course the back, you get the standard good guy waving character there. And just looking at the front, I mean, you really can't see him that clearly through the window because he's so dark. But he does look really menacing in there. So let's go ahead and get this out of the box and have a closer look. Alright, so here he is outside of the packaging. And you can see this is a much different Chucky than we've ever got, really. Now I always like to show these, NECA generally tries to include some sort of backdrop with their figures. You don't really get a very exciting one with this one. It's pretty much just basic. It kind of just fills out the package, to be honest. Let's go ahead and move on with the review. We'll take a close-up of that amazing looking head sculpt, and then we'll take a look at the outfit, the details, and some of the articulation. We'll do some comparisons. You really don't have much for any accessories. You're only going to get one accessory with this guy, so that part of the segment will be pretty short. But let's go ahead and get a nice close-up of the head sculpt. Alright, so taking a look at the Charred Chucky head sculpt here, clearly he's seen better days. Yeah, he is really, really charred up looking. Just amazing looking details in this head sculpt. So, of course, this is based off the end of the movie where Andy basically traps Chucky in like the fireplace, sets him on fire. You pretty much think Chucky's dead, but then, of course, he shows up and has more carnage to deal. So this is what he looks like after that scene. So just really, really nice details going on here. I like that you can like barely see his left eye, but his right eye is like really big, and I don't know, just no eyelid or anything. It's definitely stands out. His teeth look all crazy. Definitely look more human, which was really cool in this movie. Like as he's in this body more, he just turns more and more human. Not just inside, but his face just starts to look more human. His teeth, everything just changes for Chucky here. But man, I just really love the details. You can see he's got a little bit of the hair left. Now the hair is sculpted on this figure. Some of the other retros, most of the other retros and the original Chuckies were like more like doll hair. But I could definitely understand why they went this route for the Charred Chucky. But yeah, man, just overall really, really nice details. You can see the difference in color in the plastic and how it's just kind of like melted down into like it's kind of like just falling off into his front of his face. Just really, really love how they did that. Now, one thing that's really surprising to me, and I did not expect this at all, and they probably changed the production at some point, because I don't know, I just can't see it in the original photos, but maybe it was there, it's just hidden. But he actually does have a hinged jaw, which is really freaking awesome, man. I can't say it enough in my reviews. Like, when they do this type stuff, it just adds so much more to the character as opposed to giving us like only one head sculpt with one expression, or having to do multiple head sculpts with just slightly different expressions. I just think this is so cool when they add that hinged jaw. So, kudos to NECA for that one. And if I shine just a little bit more light on that head sculpt, you can see even more details like in that hole in his head. And finally, over to the back of his head. Like I said, he does have hair still on there. It's just more sculpted hair. And it's not like he's completely bald. I mean, you could definitely still see the hair. It's just kind of more like matted down. But I really like the color. It's got a nice red to it. So it's definitely really well sculpted. Just all around, I'm really happy with how this head sculpt looks. And looking at some more of the sculpted details, if you look at the hands, you can see like the bones are kind of coming through there. Really nice attention to detail. And you can see on both sides of the hands, there's just really, really nice details here. So you can do that screaming in agony, Chucky face if you'd like. But yeah, just overall, really nice sculpted details all around. So taking a look at the outfit here, it is the same outfit that we see with the regular Chucky. It's just that it's so burnt up and aged looking that it's hard to recognize really. But it is the same type of outfit that we're used to with this retro scale figure. So you got the cloth goods, you got the striped shirt, he's got the coveralls or overalls, whatever. Got the big pocket on the front. He's got like the rolled up sleeves and the cuffed pants, so you can kind of see the stripes on the inside of the outfit. And then of course you have the good guy's shoes. And with the good guy's shoes, you can see that they're much darker. They're pretty much just all black at this point. So I guess the paint kind of just burnt off. But you can see all the tattering and all the wear, the different tears, the burn marks, like just the discoloration of the clothes. You got a bunch of holes in the clothes themselves. So just really, really nice details overall. Alright, and looking at the back of the figure, you can see where the overalls kind of cross over there. Bunch of different weathering on here as well. You got some holes and tears. You got that same kind of burnt design, and then of course you could see some of the stripes on the cuff. You can see the back of this one's a little bit more darker and torn up. But I love that NECA puts the same amount of care into the back of the figure as they do the front. Really just nice details, and not giving us a clean back with a completely weathered front. So I'm happy about that. Really nice sleeves here. You can see like the cuff kind of rolled up. Some holes here. Just overall really, really nice details in this cloth good outfit. And there's no peg holes on the bottom of the feet, but you can see that all the details and all the sculpting for the good guy's shoes is completely shown on there. It's just much darker since, of course, he is the Charred Chucky, and you can see how much darker those shoes are than the original. Alright, so taking a look at Chucky's articulation here, he actually gets some really good movement. So of course we've already taken a look at the hinged jaw, which has some pretty good movement on it. You do get a really nice rotating head, so it can give you plenty of side to side action here. You can turn the head pretty much all the way around as much as you need to. He doesn't look down. Actually, no, he can look down pretty decent. Actually looks up pretty good as well. The hands can go all the way out, all the way down. You get like double hinged elbows, so he can go really far with his elbows here. Really impressed so far actually by the articulation on this guy. Got your T pose. He actually can move a little bit. So at the top, you can see how he could rotate the torso. He can't really bend, so you can't really look down unless you just look down with his legs. So there's really no ab crunch. Because of the pants, he can't do a split all the way, but he could do one pretty far. You can kick out about that far. He does have a knee bend, but it's about 90, so you're not going to get that double hinged knees. And then the wrist can rotate, kind of bend in a little bit. The feet do have a little bit of movement, and can't tell if they have a rock. Don't really see an ankle rocker here. But overall, really nice details and articulation in this guy. I'm actually really impressed with the articulation, and he can actually stand up really good on his own. So like with most of these Scream Factory collaborations, you only get one accessory for this figure. So for this Charred Chucky, you're just going to get his classic voodoo knife, which makes sense because that's actually the only weapon he wields while he's the Charred Chucky. And it does have some really nice details in there, like the kind of bright color with the red, but it's the same detail on both sides. So regardless which side you want to show, you will definitely see the same design on either side. And here he is holding the voodoo knife, and this is about what he looks like in the movie with it. He kind of holds it with the blade sticking downward. He's definitely meant to hold it in his left hand. If he wanted to, he could try to get it in that right hand, but it's a little loose. But overall, it does look really menacing with his voodoo knife. So definitely an accessory you gotta include with Chucky. And he will fit in that Chucky box that comes with some of the other figures. And he looks pretty menacing in here. Just get a little more light on his face. But yeah, he fits in there just fine if you want to display him that way. Alright, so for the first comparison, here he is next to the first Scream Factory / NECA Toys collaboration. And this is the Good Guy doll, Chucky. And you can see how these are completely different looking. And I absolutely love how much different these really look. This one was probably always going to be my favorite. I just really love the Good Guy doll look. He's just so cute and innocent. But of course he becomes this deranged psychopath. But I really like the scale comparison here. They look really good together. And just shows you can have a really cool mix up in your Chucky collection. Now there is one other one that is basically this version, but he's got the more scary Chucky face. Unfortunately, I have that one in the box and I have it packed away, so I can't show you that. But I'll just add a picture of it right here. And here he is with some of the older NECA Chucky figures. So you have the original Cult Classics Chucky, which looks so much different now compared to the modern ones. You see his hair is definitely not the right color. And then you have the Seed of Chucky figures. So you have Chucky and Glenn / Glenda. And they're from the Seed of Chucky set, which also included Tiffany. And they're definitely very similar in terms of the scale. I mean, they actually scale really well together, but you could see these older ones definitely use more of that doll hair, which truthfully told, I actually like that more since it is a doll. It just makes more sense to have that style hair. So, and also if you want, since they are the same scale pretty much, you can share the weapons with the Charred Chucky or vice versa. So that's pretty cool. But overall, I mean, they'll look really good in your collection. And for your final comparison with other Chuckies, here is some of the ultimate Chuckies. So you have the Bride of Chucky set, so that came with Chucky and Tiffany, and then you have the ultimate Chucky, and this is kind of tackles a lot of the films. So you get the first one, a little bit of the second one, a little bit of the third one, and then this particular head sculpt is from the Curse of Chucky, which I really like that head sculpt. But clearly you can see that these are much smaller scale compared to like the retro style Chucky. Here he is next to some other Ultimate figures. So you have the Ultimate New Blood Jason, and then the Ultimate Michael Myers from Halloween Kills. And they look cool together, but they're definitely not quite in scale together. Here he is with some of the other retro figures. So you have the Halloween 2 Michael Myers, you have the Pennywise from the 2017 remake, and then you have the Elvira from Mistress of the Dark. And you could definitely see he scales better with the retros, but still just a little too big. I feel like the retros actually scale better with the Ultimate Chucky. If you want to have somebody to put next to him besides another Chucky figure, he does look really cool with Sam. Alright, and then for the final comparison with Chucky, here he is with the Sideshow Toys New Blood Jason. Now this Jason is a 12-inch scale figure, and of course he's Jason, so he's just a little bit taller. Alright, so that's my review of the NECA Toys Scream Factory Charred Chucky. And overall, man, I mean, this is a fantastic figure. The sculpting alone on the face and the hands is just out of this world. I really can't expect much more for such a different variation of Chucky. NECA definitely delivers some things I didn't expect. The hinge jaw especially is something I never thought they would have added to this Chucky or any Chucky figure for that matter. And man, it really just makes this thing so much cooler. And while I could sit here and talk about the sculpting details all day long, I gotta give credit to Nicole for this amazing work she did on just Chucky's outfit. I mean, it looks really, really good. Just all the details in that fabric, and the fact that she can get this fabric to look so charred up and burnt, ripped up, and still keep that realistic look that NECA's known for. Just really paying attention to the details in the costume here. So just exceptional work. And I am definitely a huge fan of these Scream Factory and NECA collaborations. Now, if you are trying to buy this Chucky, unfortunately he has been sold out for quite some time, both of these actually. You can still get the Charred Chucky in a set with the movie and some various other things like posters, but that's going to run you about $153, and I know that sounds like a lot compared to the just $40 for the figure, which is what the original price was. But people are asking for a lot of money already for the Charred Chucky, so you might as well just get the set right from Scream Factory. And if you really don't want all those extras, you might be able to sell them and kind of get some of your money back. So unfortunately, that is the only option if you want Charred Chucky at this point. And then one more thing I want to say about the retros. I really do prefer the more realistic like hair on these retro Chuckies. They did make a retro set for the Bride of Chucky, and unfortunately they sculpted the hair on Tiffany and Chucky, so I passed on that one. I just don't like the sculpted hair with these retro figures. I mean, if you're trying to make it look like a doll, it doesn't make any sense to sculpt the hair. It makes perfect sense for the Charred Chucky, but yeah, I'm definitely more of a fan of this type of look. Alright, so that will do it for my review. As always, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you have a comment or question, go ahead and leave it in the comments section below. And until next time, guys, see ya.